Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and today's title is Basta in the Land of Pasta. We talked about pasta in our last class, didn't we? Let's move on to language focus. 1번. Mama Cat plays with them, and in the process, she shows them important skills they will need in order to hunt, fight, and survive. Okay. So as you can see, I have highlighted in the process. So we use in the process to express that something happens as a result of something that is being done over a period of time. Now, it's a pretty simple one, this one, because you can mean 하고 있다, something that's happening right now, 하는 중이다, and also more like in some cases it actually can also mean 하기 때문에, because but let me explain that one a little bit later. Let me just kind of like keep it with these two for now. Alright, so let's look at these two examples. The soup is boiled, and in the process, the noodles get soft. So 국물이 끓고 그 과정에서 면을 부드러워집니다. So the 뜨거운 물 때문에 the 면이 부드러워집니다. Becomes soft. So in the process, while it is happening. Or John practiced Muay Thai for a year, and in the process he lost 10 kilograms and 3 teeth. 저는 1년간 무타이를 연습했고 이 과정에서 몸무게 10kg과 치아 3개가 빠졌다. So over a period of time, in the process. So imagine let me even just like draw you a line. I would usually do this in class. So here is a timeline. Okay. Here is our timeline. This is, let's just say, Friday, and this is Monday. Should maybe shorten that timeline so it all fits onto one thing. Okay, so from Monday until Friday, something happened in the process. So as an example, I was working out very, very hard from Monday to Friday, but in the process, I injured myself. So let's say on a Wednesday, I injured myself. I kept working out, or you could change the subject as start, like the start of something and the end of something. So talking about working out, you know, I started running, and in the process I got injured. So I started running, and in the process, maybe here, I got injured. Okay, which meant I had to end the running. Okay, let's move on to 2번 now. If it's up to her, she'll probably use that free time to get back on the dating scene, and the cycle will repeat. So, up to is what I highlighted here. Use it's up to somebody to express that somebody is free to make their own decision. So, a very good expression that many people use is it's up to you, meaning it's your choice. Okay? 너에게 다렸다. Alright? No 골라 kind of thing. You choose. Alright? So examples are, if it's up to Susan, we will have a party on Friday, but if the boss says we can't, we won't. Okay, 수전에 몫이라면 금요일에 파티를 열 것입니다. 하지만 사장님께서 안 된다고 하시면 안 될 거예요. So, yes. I don't know who Susan is, but Susan might be another boss, but yeah, it's an interesting, it's a strange example. If it were up to me, public smoking would be completely illegal. 만약에 내가 결정했다면, well, if I could make a law, 방법 뭐 만들 수 있다면, 공공 흡연은 완전히 불법일 것이다. So public smoking, yes. I think public smoking should be illegal as well. Okay, now let's move on to the language focus quiz. 1번. I, and in the process I learned a lot about So remember, in the process is something happening, like something, example, here happening from the start of something until the end of something happened. So 하고 있다, 하는 중이다, in the process. So, as the example said up here, the soup is boiled and in the process the noodles get soft. So, 국물이 굵고 그 과정에서 면이 부드러워집니다. So, it becomes soft in the process. I ran 100 meters and in the process I got injured or something like that. Okie dokie. So, number 1, and in the process, I learned a lot about I volunteered at the homeless shelter, and in the process, I learned a lot about people. Okay. So, 노숙자 쉘터에서 봉사 활동을 했고 그 과정에서 사람들에 대해 많은 것을 알게 되었습니다. So maybe, homeless people aren't scary people after all, which is what the public thinks. 2번, I spent a lot of time with and in the process we became good friends. I spent a lot of time with Grace, and in the process we became good friends. That's an easy example. You just have to put a name in there. Grace와 많은 시간을 함께 했고 그 과정에서 우리는 좋은 친구가 되었습니다. Okay. 3번. If it's up to me, I will. Up to someone, 너에게 달렸다. You choose. So 나에게 달렸다. So if it's up to me, I will give everyone a pay rise. So 제가 결정할 일이라면 모두에게 급여를 인상해 드리겠습니다. I would be a good boss. Or a bad boss, because I could probably not run the company well. If it were up to me, would be illegal. Spitting on the street would be illegal. 내 마음이라면, 내 결정하면, 길거리에서 침 뱉는 것은 불법이다. Alright, now let's move on to the further discussion. 1번. What would happen if all parents simply force their children to become independent and move out at the age of 18? 만약에 모든 부모님들이 그들의 아이들을 단순히 독립시키고 18세에 이사하도록 강요한다면 어떻게 될까? Well, I moved out of my house when I was 18 and I learned a lot about independence and about the world and that bills need to be paid, car insurance needs to be paid, rent needs to be paid, so I got a job. In Korea, it's a little bit different. However, when I was growing up in Australia, once you turn 18, supposed to be seen as an adult, and therefore you should be able to look after yourself. I'm happy that I moved out when I was 18 years old. I think it was a great experience. It was a very difficult experience, but it prepared me for the real world. 2번. Until what age do parents in your country have a legal obligation to take care of their kids? In your opinion, until what age do they have a moral obligation to do so? That's a difficult question. 당신의 나라의 부모님들은 몇 살까지 아이들을 돌봐야 할 법적인 의무가 있나요? 당신이 생각하기에 그들은 몇 살까지 아이들을 돌봐야 할 도덕적인 의무가 있나요? There's no legal obligation, I think. I think kids can live with their parents for as long as they want. Morally, until they feel that the child is mature enough to look after themselves. I mean, that means to be able to get a job, to pay rent. In Australia, you need a car in most cases. So a person who can drive, just know how to cook, know how to clean, etc., etc. Those are things that are extremely important in life, and you need to learn them from an early age. So I think 18 is just an age where you should be able to go out by yourself and live by yourself, because it will mature you very quickly. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Hostile.
Hostile.
Take the hint.
Take the hint.
Out of one's hair.
Out of one's hair.
Quintuplets.
Quintuplets.
Common sense prevails.
Common sense prevails.
Basta.
Basta.